Alright, so it's been a while since I've done a video, but I've been working on some stuff, at least trying to. I have here in my garage, and I've done my best to clean it out. So all the stuff you see in there is pretty much the stuff that I use when I do portrait shots, and I can do a portrait session in here. I haven't done one yet, but I've been practicing. I do have a session coming up in a couple weeks. Let me fix this here. In a couple weeks, where I'm gonna photograph the local cheer team here. And I did it last year, and I've done it a couple of times, but this last year was when I did it in this format with a white backdrop. They did request that they wanted a clean white backdrop. I could use AI, but I always like to try to do everything in camera and then worry about the editing later. But mostly I try to get it right in camera. So the setup that I have here, I'll show it to you really quick, is I use my iPad. Let's get right here. Alright, so I use my iPad to tether to my camera. And of course there's my light and modifier. This is my model for right now. Maybe I'll do some self-portraits later just to kind of work with that. And then I decided I finally bit the bullet actually to buy myself some Vflats. And the reason being is I want to use these, of course, to get some creative portraits in the future. But what I wanted to do was to set this up as for bounce light actually. See, I got my flash there and my light facing towards the white side of the V-flat, which in turn is going to be basically facing the backdrop, and then have one more on the other side. And what that does is the bounce light bounces back to the backdrop and creates a white background. But what it also does, and what I had a problem last year because of time constraints, was I got a lot of bounce light back into my camera, and it decreases the contrast. And I was able to fix it later on, but it still didn't come out as good as I wanted it. I have an highlighter right here which I'll be using, and I will have another reflector on camera left, the model is right, and then for now this is what I've been practicing on Grogu. And this is just to give you an idea of what I got. It's not completely perfect, but it works, and I think I have my setup. So I like to practice now so that when I get there on that day, let me turn myself around. It's a little warm here in the garage. So let's go this way. All right, so I like to practice now so that when I get there, I already know the settings that I need, maybe just a few tweaks here and there. But for the most part, this is what I'm going to use, and I'm going to try to have everything set up in my car so that when I do unload everything, for the most part it'll just be a quick setup. But I'm kind of looking forward to it. If you have any questions on anything that I have here, a lot of the junk that I got here too, I'll talk about that later, because that's more of buying a lot of stuff because maybe you saw someone on YouTube, or I saw someone, I'll blame myself, that I saw someone on YouTube and I bought it, and now it's sitting in a box down there. I use about 10% of that, but I will talk about that in the near future. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll be doing some more videos. Just been lazy. That's pretty much it, but see you guys later.